What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Total Spurs. I'm here with my man Delane today. How are you, brother?
Good, bro. How are
Oh, I'm good,
you?
bro. Delane's been quite busy lately. Soon to be father, partying up in Gold
Yes.
Coast. Couldn't join us over the weekend because he was too busy getting his bloody party on with the boys. But how'd you pull up, bro?
Listen. Sunday was just probably the recovery week where going home, flying back. It was just wasn't the greatest, but now we all came back safe. Look, we all enjoyed ourselves, but now it's back to reality, back to doing videos, back to working. So yeah,
Yeah, I feel you
can't
on
party
that, one,
forever.
bro. I need a fucking holiday. I tell you that. Um, Well, we got one on Thursday. We got a day off because of the Queen's death. R.I.P. Lizzie. Like
RIP.
my missus likes to say, thanks, Lizzie, for the day off. She's Australian, so I take it with a
Yeah,
pinch of salt. Um,
yeah.
but bro, 6-2. How do you feel on the game, bro?
Yeah, look, obviously I was away, but I caught up on the cat, caught up on it. Look, very, very, very happy with the result. I think we showed a lot more character. I think after the Sporting Lisbon game, I think Conte ripped into him and said, "Look, you guys need to pull your weight. You need to do your job," and we did. They came out firing. Everyone put a shift in, especially Bentancur, which I think he was not that great against Lisbon. Um, Kane, yeah, he did some decent work in the middle, which helped us a lot. Um, yeah, look, I think all the boys pulled a good shift in that game, and look, 3 points, well deserving. Even though now we're going to international break, I think Conte has time now to really think. Okay, what's going to work now? Who do I start, and who do I want to play, and how do I want to play? So I think now, yes, the time for Conte to have a seat, relax for a bit, and make sure he gets it right for the next game, which it's a big one.
Yeah, the next Prem game is the big NLD. I know we've
Yes,
been reiterating
yes.
that we've got some big stuff planned, but we have boys. We're gonna a nice little FIFA comp, in-house FIFA comp.
Mm-hmm.
Nano
Mm-hmm.
reckons he's gonna win. I think I'm gonna take it, but I know you're my
Um,
kryptonite. You always seem to beat me, so I may
yeah,
be the most experienced, and when it
I
comes
think
to
I've, I've
FIFA, but
I think
you've
I've
got
worked
my
how you
number.
play.
Yeah,
I
you've
think
got
I
my
worked out how
number,
you
bro.
play, so I've worked it out. So look, yeah,
Um,
look,
it's got to be good, but on the Leicester lineup, bro. So we had a bit of a change up. It was quite surprising. There was a few names that I didn't think would be in. There's a few
mm,
names that I thought would be in that weren't, and
mm,
there was a bit of a mismatch on the back. So my biggest surprise was that we played Perisic on the right and Sessignon on the left. We didn't nominate to keep Royal there. And I don't know if you saw, and we touched on this yesterday with Nene and Lee, that the reason why Doherty hasn't been playing is because Conte came out and said that he's still not 100% fit from his groin injury from before the last
mm,
season and the last season. So
mm,
he's hoping that he'll be ready for after the international games. Probably not
mm.
Arsenal. I think that's a big game to bring him back in. But I
Yeah,
mean, if
definitely.
you if you've got the nuance and you're that type of player, then it shouldn't matter what game you come back.
Hmm.
But yeah, Perisic on the right. Was that surprising to
Yeah,
you?
yeah. Look, he's both footed, so it does surprise me. But then again, I do trust him. I trust him on the right because I trust him left or right. Like he's both
Yeah,
footed. He did actually put in what I thought was an excellent job, like covering that right wing back. Like he does it every time. He plays on the left, does a shift. Plays on the right, he'll do a shift. So
yeah.
look, no, I'm happy. I'm happy for him to go on the right. With Cess, yeah, look, I think Cess played well as well. He did brilliant. For what I
I
watched, I
think
think he did.
for me, I think he just didn't have any end product, and that's where I feel like
Yeah.
he is lacking, and he still needs to work on it. It's just his either his crossing or his final play into the final half. I feel like like there's a few times this season already where I feel like he needs to release the ball a bit sooner as he's running into the box to give it to Kane or Son in the middle. But that just comes with, I think, chemistry as well. It's, when you're in and out of the team, like I know he got a bit of a run last season, and he's had had a couple of games this season. He really hasn't had time to fully adjust, and I feel like for Fulham, he was more of the get on the end of the balls and finish type of winger.
I feel like he was attacking. He was going at him in this game. I think he was. For me, watching it, I thought he was going to more. He was going towards him, like when you see him used to. He was backing off a bit, but now he was going forward. I think maybe Perisic helping him say, "Look, man, I'm playing on the right. I won't be able to coach you on the side. You're gonna have to do it yourself. Push up against him, go at him." So I think it does help. It did help for him to do that. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I do think as much as Perisic is a really good player and he could both-footed, he had a decent game again, but I feel like defensively he was struggling. He had James Justin, who's rapid, and then he had Harvey Barnes, who's strong and quick too. So he was, and with Sanchez behind him, and Sanchez had one of his mare games where, I don't know if you saw it, but for the first penalty, he goes in for a tackle. He gave the ball away, tries to make up for it, fucks the tackle up. Tries to make up for it again, gets nutmegged. Then he tries to make up for it again. And then what he does is as he goes in for the sliding tackle, he pulls out because he thinks he's going to clatter James Justin and still nicks him anyway. Yeah. Whereas I feel like if he swung his leg out, he may have got the ball prop before the contact to James Justin, and maybe it would have been like, oh no, he's got the ball first.
It's a really hard decision. That was
weird for me as well. I don't
it
know
was a
why
bit of
Sanchez started in front of Romero, but we did say last week that he might have had a little of a niggle, so maybe that was he has looked pretty poor since he came back from injury.
Yeah, he has. So I wouldn't. Yeah, I didn't mind him starting, but that penalty. Yeah, look, it shouldn't have happened, but I think it's hard to say. I felt like James Justin touched him, but then again, could go either way. So look, it was
a penalty. I think it was a stone cold penalty. It's just it didn't need to happen. It's just one of those things that Sanchez has done. He's played fairly well for Conte. I feel like he has improved under Conte. It's just
he definitely has.
He's one of those players that has one of those games. He could be amazing for 8-9 games, and he has that one game where he looks absolute dog shit, and you think, why the fuck do we still have him here?
100%, man. I think he's got a lot to work on, Davison, at the moment, but I'm pretty sure hopefully he goes away to international league and continue what he's doing here at Spurs, take it to Colombia and come back.
So before we go into to your boy, before your Ben 10 out of 10, we're gonna go up to the front three first before the interchanges. Because I do want to. I know that you're a very big fan of Bentancur, so I want to kind of.
100%, 100%.
How do you feel when a front three went before Sonny came on?
Look, Kulusevski did well. Obviously, he set up that first goal with the cross. That was a beautiful cross to Kane. Like, I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought he was going to take a swing at goal, but nah, he's seen the opportunity, Kane. And
you know what I like is the fact that we had that option of coming short.
Yes,
coming
definitely.
Short. And then we've done it a few times already. Son did it where he scored off it. Our set pieces are getting better, which is very surprising to say.
I just want to put it out there. I just don't think Son should take the corners. That's just my theory. I think Perisic does a way better job.
I think I, and every other Tottenham fan thinks the same thing. I don't see the reason why he takes him.
Nah, like coming short, let Sonny do it. But if we want to go long, Perisic, Perisic all day because just his delivery, I think it's way better. As you probably saw, like the Dyer scored. Exactly. So I think it's just Perisic takes corners. Even with the free kicks, I think Perisic does a better job than Kane or Son. Like the ball just floats a lot better. Where if you do a Son or Kane free kick, I feel like it just hits the first person like Eriksen used to do. I'm just like, oh my god, can't get over the first guy.
Yeah, so I think always, bro.
Yeah, so look, I think Perisic taking corners is a lot better. But Yeah, I think who else? Richie didn't do too bad. I can't say he did terrible. Like he put in the shift, what we all expect from him.
It wasn't one of his. It
I
wasn't
think
his best game. He really didn't do
yeah,
that much. I think
nah, I
I
don't
think
think.
just the. I wouldn't say the formation. I just think the way Leicester were playing, it was very
I
back
don't
and
think he
forth.
could get involved. That's the thing. He
Nah,
probably couldn't get involved as much as
I
he
think
wanted to. So
if he stayed on when the formation changed, I think he would have may have had a bit more success. But when like with Son, it's Kane and Son are used to that, so it just clicks straight away. But like I said, we'll get on to
yeah,
Sonny and the change after we talk about the midfield. So, and
yeah,
then Kane's the highest goals scored against a certain team in the PL is Leicester. I think he's got like something like in 17 games, he's got like 18 goals and 4 assists or something stupid, or 18 games, 17 goals and 4 assists. Like he loves
yeah,
playing
something like
Leicester.
that.
Lee
Yeah,
and Nano were joking around yesterday and saying that they reckon when he was at Leicester on loan, someone went
mm.
up to him and went, "Oh, you're fucking shit, mate. You ain't going to make it." And he's had a personal vendetta against him ever since because whenever Leicester come in town, Kane just
Kane's
always
always there.
scores.
Exactly. So yeah, look, he scored another beautiful header. So he did well. He did well to cut that from Kulu from that cross. But
Yeah,
um, yeah, I think I think our midfield did all right too. So I think
just all
basically
right.
everyone did. No,
I think
I think actually not all right. I think my man Benta Core. I like to put it out
Ben
there.
10 out of 10, 10 core.
Ben 10 out of 10. I think was it one of his best. Probably
I would say his best.
maybe
I'd say it was.
second best performance. I should say. I think it's second best. I
Yeah,
think he just
I wouldn't say no.
he just he just looked like a different player. Like he was everywhere. The tackles he was making, just doing the groundwork, which was good. And then you had Hoiberg just covering and just doing the same thing. But I think Bentancur just outperformed the whole midfield. He was
Yeah, he
just
scored as
everywhere, man.
well. He
Yeah,
scored as
exactly.
well.
He scored. He was just
Um,
so good, man.
yeah, and before we jump onto the main man up front for this game, the
Mm-hmm.
formation change and stuff, I want to make a special mention because you were calling for it, James
Mm-hmm.
Madison. You were calling for him constantly,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I can understand where Conte come from. He's more of an attacking midfielder. We don't play an attacking midfielder in the
Mm-hmm.
system. But for Leicester, I feel like he plays. It's him and Tielemans players like the interchanging attacking mids where one moves up. It's more of Tielemans is kind of like how Arsenal play. I have
Mm-hmm.
Partey as the holding, Xhaka as the box to box or the
Yeah.
transition, and then Odegaard as the attacking midfielder. And that's how. And
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like we can play that with Madison, but he ran that game until we brought on Basuma to control him, and
Mm-hmm.
I can't see why we didn't go for him. And you were calling for him.
I'll be calling it since basically the transfer window opened. I said I wanted Madison. He just brings that X factor. Premier League proven. He can take free kicks. He can take corners, and that's where we're kind of lacking. Where if I wouldn't mind,
And he
I wouldn't
scores.
care if
And he scores.
he scores. I wouldn't care if he was on the bench. But then if you want someone to go win the game, I'm sure James Madison will be the hand. He'll put his hand up and say, "Look, I could go win this for you," because he brings that X factor. It brings where you can put Kane up front. You won't have to drop him back. You just leave. You say Madison. You just pivot those balls into Kane or to Son or to Richie, just the front three, and he'll look for those passes and he'll find them. So, and I'll be calling it. We should have just gone for James Madison. Like, yeah, we got the money, pay it. But it is frustrating. But then again, look, I think having the midfield we got now, I'm not disappointed. But I think if we had James Madison, it would have been a whole lot better. It would have been more flowing. Like it just seems like we just lose the ball too much. We lose the ball way too much in the midfield, and it's just we're not controlling it. Where I think if we bring James Madison, he can control it. He'll be able to find a pass, like a long range pass or just a short ball or just do a tic tac and go bang, run. Which I feel like, I think we're lacking that a little bit. So at the moment, we'll just go what we got until maybe January we can go from. But I don't think so. We'll see. We'll see what happens to Leicester. See what happens to them. You might do it
I
late.
think your analysis is completely on point. I think the option to have him and to be able to change that system would have been like really, really good. It would have helped us a lot.
Yes.
But in saying that, we did change the system. And you were calling for it. You've been calling for it for we've had discussions about is this the right system? What can we do to utilize the players that we have to make the system better? And you were one of the ones that said we should go for the 5-3-2. And Sun came on, didn't look too good in the system that we we're playing because Leicester was still controlling it through Madison. But then as soon as we brought Basuma on and the system changed to a 5-3-2, it was like it was a new team. It was like the whole team we just grabbed the game and flipped it like 180.
Yes, we did. And you can see how much more control we had on the ball. We had way more control. Bazuma coming in, being there holding midfield, he let Højbjerg and Bentancur press forward. Now, in saying that, and then you have Sonny up top, but then you have Kane who can drop a little bit deep, but then still feed. And now, when we changed that, as you said, it just was a complete whole different team, and it felt like a flowing more. We were doing more, and Conte's used that system at Inter Milan, and it worked every time.
Yeah, because he had Martinez and Lukaku up front.
Exactly. So I'm sure you could do the same thing to Sonny Kane or Kane and Richie, or I wouldn't say Kulu because Kulu's more of a winger. So I think Son and Kane.
To me, he's more of a Robin. Like I compare him to Robin because I think he's very left-footed. He can dink it on the right. He's not as quick as what Robin was or agile, but he's still got that cutting on his left, ping it, that kind of thing, which sometimes fucks him up. But with that system change, we were talking about it yesterday, and Nana and Lee brought up points of if that system's working, why don't we make that the system? And the thing is because of Kulu and of Richarlison, we bought 60 more for Richarlison. Kulu, he's unplayable. I think him and Bentancur have been our best two again this season. Lloris, special mention. Lloris has played really well. Even though I've been criticising him for the way he statues sometimes, he has stepped up the last couple of games with saves. He's kept the scoreline respectable in all the games. But do you think we should sacrifice Kulu, Richarlison, or Son, because Kane's not going to get dropped unless he gets rested? Do you think we need to change the system if this system works? Especially for Arsenal, they're going to have. I think for Arsenal, I don't think we need to change it.
It's just for the lower. It's just for the lower teams that, say, for instance, like you got your Fulhams, your Nottingham Forest, your maybe not so much the attacking teams. We can play the normal 3. Was it 3? Can't remember.
2-3, I think. Was it? No, 5-2-3 we play, or 5-4.
Yeah, that's it.
3-4-3. 3-4-3, whatever we play.
Yeah, so we can play that for the Man Cities, the Liverpools, the Arsenals, because they like to attack. We're the more defensive teams. I think we need a 3-5-2. Just so we have that extra midfielder just to control it, because those teams, if you watch back where we played Nottingham Forest, we were lucky to scratch away with that game, because
we were. They were ripping us up at the up top because they were pushing so far up.
Exactly, our midfield was nowhere, and then you had the Fulham game. They could have got us too. So it's just those lower teams. I think we need to play the 3-5-2. The higher teams, I'm thinking we should just go the original.
The original 3-4-3. Yeah, because I feel like the higher teams will not be as scared, and they won't have their defenders sitting on Kane and Son as much because like we've got
Exactly.
quality defenders, and that's where Man City and Liverpool. We drew with Liverpool twice last year, and we're the only team last year not to lose to Liverpool or Man City in the league. So it's kind of like like I said, the same thing. It's we can play that system because they're going to come at us hard. So we sit 7 behind the ball, and then we just as soon as we counter, we've got Kane, Son, and Kulu or Richie, and I think the only difference that we haven't won by as many points or haven't turned those draws into wins is because Son and Kane haven't been on it as much as they should be. Like Kane's scoring, but he's still not playing well, and that's a good thing because usually when Kane's not playing well, he doesn't score. Sonny hasn't been. But he has been getting goals, and that's where I feel like Kane is improving in terms of he's not just a lanky body on the pitch anymore. He can still help, and even if he's not playing too well. And you're right. I feel like against the lower teams, having that 3 in the middle to control the midfield, to be able to protect the back 4 when they do try and come out and counter us, we have that Basuma to protect. Because he's very good at one-on-ones, and he shut down Madison. Madison did nothing after.
He was going nowhere. He was going nowhere, Madison, and that's where I think, that system when we changed it up, it was just we controlled, and that's what I like to see. I want to see us control the ball more and not give away stupid passes or do stupid plays where, just shit like that. I don't want to see that. I want to see just flowing football, and that's what we did when we changed that system. It was just flowing. We'll find a space. And we're finding an extra man. Where if we played the other system, we weren't finding the players we wanted to. And it was just, I'm glad Conte changed the system because, I think the system works perfectly for like a Leicester or like just your lower teams at the moment.
Yeah, I think we can utilize it against the bigger teams when we have to, especially if we want to stifle, if we want to play ultra defensive and put 8 behind the ball with Kane and Son up front. I think we can do that. But it's nice to see that we do have an alternative to the system that we have been playing. It's nice to see that we can actually have a plan B because I felt like we haven't had a plan B since Poch, to be honest. Even with Poch, we played the 4-2-3-1 system so much. I didn't feel like we had any backup plan if we didn't work. Under Nuno and Jose Mourinho, we played the wing backs, but it was always the same. And with Conte, we've always played the same. We never really changed formation. He has switched it where he's put 4 at the back if he feels like he has to. But we haven't.
He did that against Chelsea.
Yeah, we haven't really done many tactical changes, but this one looks promising. I feel like it's a good thing to have because Kane and Son are very good working close together, and that's how. The thing is, you can switch with Richarlison for Son. I think they're kind of like for like, and I wouldn't say Kulu's like for Kane because, in terms of strength and holding the ball up, though, Kulu has can play that role better than Son and Richarlison, so he can kind of take over Kane. But I don't know how well he's going to go centrally.
I don't think he'll be. I don't think he'll be that great as a central player. But then, would you sacrifice Højbjerg or Bentancur and put him in the middle and have him feed Son or Kane?
So I know Conte's had this question asked, and he said about playing Kulu centrally, and he said he likes playing winger. So for me, it's instead of trying to mold him into a position. Look, it can work and it might not work. Bale did it, whereas left back and moved to left wing back. But Bale had the pace to strike. He's kind of like a Cess. He wasn't a good defender, better attacker.
Yeah.
Cess isn't, never going to be as good as Bale, but you know what I mean, like that kind of thing. I personally think Kulu can do it. He has the strength. He can't. To me, he looks like a Dembele. Like I know we say Bentancur, but if you look at how Kulu drops his shoulder, he uses his strength, ball close to his feet. I feel like he has that little dribbling thing that, he could, if the pace is starting to get to him and we do buy a pacey winger or we play Richarlison and you go, fuck it, we'll play all 4. I think he can play that role behind the front 3 and feed it and have Pops I feel like he can do it. It's just whether or not Conte thinks he can do it.
I think he can. I think he's, as you said, as you touched on it, he's got the strength. He's got the dribbling. We've seen it multiple times. I think, look, he can definitely play the role. But as you said, it's all up to Conte how he wants to play him. And if he says he wants to play him as a winger, then winger it is, I guess. But like, I just think with this system now, I think it's working.
Number 21, his name is Kulusevski. That's such a good song. How you going, mate?
Such a good song.
We've alluded to the main man of the hour because I wanted to give some insight to the rest of the team before we start frothing over this guy again. Son Aldo, Son Perion, Son
Messi.
Your boy, our boy. How good was it to see him score? And how good was it to see him score like the way he did?
It got me emotional because just him not scoring, getting so close to scoring. I think, it got us all emotional because we've wanted him to score so bad. We've wanted him. We call it every game. Sonny's going to score this one. Sonny's going to score. Sonny's going to score. And then he just doesn't. And then it comes to this game. It comes off, and we even said ourselves, maybe he needs to be rested. Maybe he needs to be on the bench and look on the outside and go, okay, they're getting tired. I know what to run. I know who to go for. So then he comes on, and look, that first goal, I didn't think it was going to go. I thought it was going to go over. I thought he was going to shoot it over. But then hit the back of the net, I was like, no way. I started getting emotional about it. I'm like, oh, finally you got a goal.
When I was watching it, I sat there and it was at one point where it looked like he'd lost it. You know how like the last 6-7 games, every time he goes to run at someone, he overhits it or he does it, he steps over but fucks it up and it rolls forward and they get it. Like, there was one point where they looked like he crisscrossed with Johnny Evans. And he went onto his right to drift it out. Then he did a step over and then moved it further right and then banged it. I thought that first one, I'm like, fuck, he's lost it. And as soon as he caught it and he moved out, and I was like, he's gonna bang this. Like it's just gonna be one of those balls. And then when he did it, I sat there and I felt a relief for him. You know, it felt like someone had put bad juju on him. Like honestly, like
I think his Korean gods got to him. We'll pray for his Korean gods.
Yeah, we did say a couple of weeks ago he should pray to Allah, to Vishnu, to Jesus Christ, and to his Korean gods. So he sat on that bench and he was like, please, God, when I get on this pitch, please.
Exactly.
And then he scores a nice banger, you know, and his reaction, he just stood there. He didn't smile. He didn't like cheer. He just stood there and he just like, it was just the weight of it, of the expectation and the fans. And I think his fans have been pretty critical. There's been some outrageous fans lately. They've been saying, "Oh, drop him. He's finished. Get rid of him. Oh, he's hit his peak." People don't realize, like, people call him purple patch, and I don't like that term because I feel like he is, but he isn't. He goes through patches, but then the thing is, no one's like Potts used to always try and play him through it. So did Jose. You know. No one's ever dropped him, really.
Yeah.
And he's a confidence player. So Conte must have said to him, look, come here. You're going to sit on the bench. But when you get on, I want you to explode. I want you to go at it. And the thing is, he didn't straight away because of the system. But once the system allowed him to, he did it. And for me, I feel like there's always a way you can get a player that's out of form to switch into form. And I feel like he needed it where I always said it needed to be against a team that was weak. That was tired, that, you know, would give him the extra yard of space that he wouldn't get in the first 60 minutes. And he'll exploit it.
100%.
And that's what happened. And Son's a confidence player, so I expect him now to bang one against Arsenal. Like, if he doesn't,
100%. Yeah, look, I think him sitting on that bench was probably the best thing that ever happened to him, because it made him think, okay, I gotta get on here now and prove a point.
Yeah.
That I could be in the starting lineup. I'm not here to sit on the bench. I'm here to be in the starting lineup. So, yeah, he did. He came on, scored that banger of a right foot, first goal. And then, as you all saw it, his next two, mate,
That second one was even better, and it was carbon copy of his goal. Was it last year he scored it?
Yeah,
last year? Yeah, it was a carbon copy coming in on his left. And the thing is, no one realizes how good his left actually is. He scored a few bangers like that.
His left foot is wicked. Like, I've never seen a left foot goal like that for a long time. Like last year was good, but this one, I think, it's the same thing. It just kills him. He was nowhere stopping that.
I mean,
like, he
Ward
just takes
had a
that
really
little
shocking
touch.
game.
Yeah, 100%. But it's the way he touched it, and then he hits it. He touches on the right, rolls it with his left, and just swings at it with his left. And I'm just like, wow. I had a feeling it was going to go in. I looked at it, and the way he shot it, I'm like, yeah, he's got this.
I think I have to look back. I'll watch it after this, but I'm pretty sure on the stream, I was like, he's going to bang this. He's going to bang this. Because I was just expecting it. After the first goal, I was like, yeah, Sonny's going to bang another one. And Lee caught it. Lee, I don't know if he said it was that someone was going to score 85th minute for his first goal or his last goal. I can't remember, but he did call it. And Son's last goal was on the 84th minute. But yeah, like that second goal was weapon. And I was very surprised he was onside. I thought he was offside for the third goal. But if that's before he scores, if that's in the first half an hour, that's Heafy, by the way, Delane. Shout out to Dribbles.
Really?
Shout out to Teeth. They go on Teeth.
That was him.
Yeah, no, yes, it's a thing with StreamYard when you got Facebook users on there. But if that was the first half, or if that was before he scored his goals, I think he misses his third goal, like with the luck that he was on. But the fact that he scored those first two, and it was lucky that he got it, because Ward did really, really bad. He should have saved that, to be honest. But I'm glad he got his hat trick, and now I do expect him to kick on. I'm hoping he kicks 100%. On, because Arsenal in a good vein of form at the moment. I don't think, to be honest, I haven't played anyone that great. But you can only beat what's in front of you. And the thing is, on their day, they're a very good team. As I hate to say it, but they are. Saliba's looking like a machine at the back. It's because you can't grow a beard, mate. We ain't gonna shave.
Never, mate. This is going on for a while. This is staying here. But yeah.
I feel like we do need to keep this Sonny in form for NLD to really pipe them. But that's the big test now. Like, I know we had Chelsea. We aren't playing well, and they weren't playing well. They still aren't now, up and down at the moment. But Arsenal's going to be the big test, because we're the only other team that's undefeated apart from Man City. And we're sitting third, or joint second, I should say, with City and Arsenal first, with 1 loss and 6 wins. So it is going to be a big test. And I feel like if we can win that, our next 6 games actually in the Prem. I'm talking about the Prem, not about the actual, with the Champions League and stuff. But we have Brighton, Everton, United, Newcastle, and then Bournemouth. So for me, everybody but United, we should be beating.
Well, Brighton are doing well, even though they lost Graham Potter.
They've just lost Potter. And to me, that's a bigger loss to Brighton than they realise, because he's such a good manager. They didn't get to play because the game was called off. So we didn't even get to see the new manager. But the next 6 games in the Prem, 7 games, it's, two top 6 teams, top 6 clubs, and then the rest we should be beating. And I feel like if we're coming out of October, I think that's in October. That's all the teams in October. Let me just double check. Yeah, so Bournemouth on the 30th of October. If we can win 5 out of the 7 at least, I'm expecting a couple of draws in there, because Brighton, Newcastle, you never know. Bournemouth, I think we can beat. United, I think we will be in a really good spot just before the World Cup, because the World Cup, I don't know if it starts 17th of November or December it starts. November it starts.
November
starts. After that, we'll have we'll literally have like 5 games. So after that, we'll have a Champions League game. Then we'll have Liverpool, Nottingham, and then Leeds, and then we don't play until after Christmas. So like we only have 9-10 games before the World Cup, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And the only big 16s we play in that are going to be. We played Nottingham in the League Cup, so that scratched out. So it's 9 games. We have Liverpool, Arsenal, and United before the World Cup. So if we can get at least draws with those guys and win the rest of the games, stay undefeated. I don't think we're going to, but I would love to. Until World Cup, I think that puts us in a great position because then it gives Conte that World Cup to start scouting out any possible winter transfers. So before we start wrapping this up, though, I want you to. What's your opinion on how Conte's done so far this season? Don't worry about last season. This season, what's your thoughts at the moment?
So are we talking about from the start?
From the start of the season, pre-season to now, not from last year, like from his first season, pre-season. How do you think it's going? Because I know there's after the loss to fucking Lisbon, people were saying Conte out. So I want to hear how you feel.
Look, for those people who are saying Conte out, go fuck yourselves because legit, go fuck yourselves. Go fuck yourselves. I don't know what your plan you got. I don't know what plan you guys are on.
He's telling
seriously, go fuck yourselves because if you think if you want Conte out, you go drag him out. He ain't going nowhere. I'm telling you that right now. He ain't going nowhere. He's a world-class manager. He's come in. He has changed what we used to play like under Nuno. Got us to Champions League, and now you guys want to get rid of him. Bloody joke. No, look, from pre-season to now, I think, look, it's been a rough start, but I can see it improving a little bit more. Like,
I think Lee approves, but I just think he's a bit nicer than you.
No, but seriously, no, like it was a bit rough. It was a rough start. Like the first game against Southampton, like we beat him out of the park, and then the Chelsea game. Look, that was a bit of a,
We were lucky to draw that.
Yeah, 100%. My cat's in the video. I don't know why, but I'm taking it out. Yeah, look, we're lucky to win that game.
Don't throw it on my fucking YouTube streaming, bro. You get cancelled.
No, look, I think the Chelsea game was it was a bit of a rough one. And then who did we play after that? Was it Nottingham Forest, or was it Fulham? Oh no, it was Wolves.
Wolves, then Nottingham, then Fulham.
Yeah. Those games, look, we started backtracking a little bit more. And then come the first Champions League game against Marseille, we got the win, but we still looked a bit shaky.
Game got cancelled.
Yeah, and then the game got cancelled against City, and then we versed Sporting Lisbon, which I think, I just don't know what happened there. I really don't. I think we just lost it, and we just didn't play to our strengths. Like we let Marcus Edwards just run all over us, not make some like 3 defenders, and just And then we played Leicester, which we got the result. But other than all that, I think it's been a positive start, but I still think it needs to improve more. I think there's still a bit more we can do. I feel like Conte will take this time now to reanalyze how it started and make sure that we come after the international break, we come back firing. So, look, I think it's positive, but still a lot of work to do. Like, it's a long season. Anything can happen. So I'm really happy with it so far, but still a lot to prove on.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's positives and negatives. Conte's been a bit stubborn with his interchanges, and thing is though, that's why he's manager and we're not. He kind of knows what he wants. He works with his players every day. There's reasons. I brought up reasons about Spence. I think it's a political thing. He's kind of turned around and gone, you know what, you buy him, but you didn't want to buy my right wing back that I wanted. So I'm going to keep playing Royal because I'm not going to play a player that you bought for me. You need
More
to
of
buy
a
a
club
player
thing.
that I wanted.
It was more of a Levy thing.
And then with the Doherty one, obviously he's come out and like he's just kept quiet. He's just kept making decisions. But my whole thing is if Doherty's injured, why is he on the bench? Like Moore's injured, he's not making the bench. So why are we still? Why is Doherty on the bench? It's just taking up a space. We could chuck a youth player in there, especially against like the lower teams. Chuck a youth player. You never know. You might find another Dane Scarlett. That's one thing what we might be doing over the next 2 weeks is maybe doing a youth watch. We can watch some of the under 18, under 21 games, and we might, try and see how our loan players are going. A few of us will start watching some highlights and trying to catch some games over the next 2 weeks, international break, to try and catch up with, Dane Scarlett, Troy Parrott, and all that, because they're the main two that I think will be close to the first team squad in the next couple of years.
Definitely will, man.
But back on Conte, I think you're right. I think there's some good, there's some bad, there's some ugly, but we can't complain. We've kind of improved on all our results from last year. Like I said before, we lost to West Ham away. We drew this time. We lost to Chelsea away. We drew. We lost to Southampton at home. We beat them. We lost to Wolves at home. We beat them. That sort of thing. So we are improving our results. Can't complain. Undefeated, 17 points already. One of our best tallies at this point of the season, I think, in the Prem. I'm not 100% sure. So it's positive, but there's a lot of room for improvement. And I'm not saying that I'm happy. I'm content with the way that we're going. No one complains if we're playing bad and still winning. It's more of a when we start losing is when as you saw against Lisbon. Everyone lost it and was Conte out because we lost a game. So
it's one loss. Like, come on, man, one loss.
I know. But on that note, I think we'll wrap it up. I can hear your cat fucking screaming at us.
It's annoying me. Trust me, it's annoying me. She's on here at the moment, so it's really annoying me.
That's all right, bro. But,
sorry about that, guys. It's not. Nah, all good, bro. Thanks for having me, eh?
Yeah, I know you've been busy lately. Partying up.
Yeah.
Yourself,
just
fatherhood.
We'll,
hopefully you can find some time for us in the future. But you'll definitely be there for the NLD. And we'll definitely get you on before then to get some insight into the youth, the loans, any more content decide to make. But I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers for having me.
That's all good, brother. And I'll let you take this out.
As we always say, stay Spursy.
Stay Spursy, guys.